We're going to start talking about Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence tool, that is OTBI. For our reporting, we have seen three kinds of reporting tools till now. One is BA Publisher, other one is extracts, and third one is this Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence tool, right? So whatever extracts we have seen, whatever reporting tools we have seen till now, I would say they are more of technical, more of technical knowledge is needed for that. In general, there will be three kinds of users. Three kinds of users in sense, the way we use Fusion applications. One is a casual user. Casual user or a generic user that can be a regular employee, a regular manager, or a regional manager, or a HR director. They're casual users. I mean, they don't need they don't need to know anything about the Fusion applications, Fusion applications, architectures, technologies, anything like that. They will just go into Fusion application and they will run the report. They won't run the report, they will see the report. Okay, they will just like to see the report in the Fusion application. They won't write, won't create, they will just consume it. Okay, so for those users, it means whenever they go to the application, whenever they go log into application, at the right side they have a dashboard. Okay, there's some news, or someone is following them, or there are multiple followers, there are some conversations, or if they go to if there are any dashboards are enabled, if they just go to their example, I don't think it's enabled here. Example, if they go to my team, if they go to I mean, let us say if they were to my team talent review, example, if they want to go there, then let us say when manager says, if I go to the talent review, this model is not enabled in this instance though. If they want to go to the talent review on the talent management application, then when they go to the my team talent review, they want a report here saying that how many people have submitted the goals or how many people has completed the appraisal, some kind of data. That's a report. They will just see it here. They will just consume the report. They will just see the report, right? That is one kind of user. And other kind of user is power users like HRIS people, HRIS manager, or a benefits administrator, or a learning administrator, or a career progression consultant, or they can be typical HR users. So what they wanted to know, apart from the data, what we deliver onto their home pages, apart from the reports, what they will deliver on their dashboards, like that. Apart from that, they want additional data to pull, right? So, and they don't know SQL queries, they don't know anything. So they want additional data to get pulled based on their needs. Okay, let us say a HRIS manager of a Latin America wanted to pull out some specific data of an employee which any of our existing report is not offering. They wanted to pull their name, gender, country of birth, or their driving license expiry date. I mean, they wanted to pull some specific information which our existing reports are not getting offered. Then what power users can do, they can go to the Fusion reporting and they can pull the data from the reporting, just drag and drop. Okay, so these power users, just from the pool of data elements, they will drag and drop whatever elements are needed and they will create a report. It's a power user, right? So power users to create a report by just dragging and dropping, OTBI is the perfect place to do that. Oracle Transaction Business Intelligence tool. It's just drag and drop the element onto the application. So OTBI is a Fusion specific reporting tool, which is instead of constructing an SQL query, you can simply drag and drop selected data from subject areas and use different graphical views. Okay, and once we created this report or dashboard, you can embed that in the Fusion application through personalization. You can embed it too. Okay, so that has that kind of flexibility this Fusion, this OTBI will offer, which will be very useful for the power users. There is third level, where if some requirements are not being satisfied with the Fusion OTBI, which is not being satisfied, and where we may need to go one beyond that and pull data from multiple database tables. I mean, when the OTBI subject areas are not offering the data elements what we needed, then we need to go once. Then the HR business team will contact IT. Hey, we want help in pulling the data. Okay, if the power user is not having knowledge in OTBI, IT people can help in OTBI. If it is beyond that, then we should go for writing SQL queries where we use BA Publisher. Okay, or sometimes we use HCM extracts. Okay, the three kind of reportings we do have. Okay, so as we already seen the extracts in BA Publisher, the third one we are not talking about here, it is being covered already. And this power users, the HRIS, this is the tool we are going to talk about for next 2 days or 3 days. Okay, right, now we need to know OTBI. It's a very important tool which is offering by the Oracle, so learning it is very useful for us to quickly generate any kind of report. Okay, now, so what is OTBI? What does it offer? Okay, so what does it offer? The advantage of OTBI is which pulls data as a real time. What does it mean? Example, someone in here, we have to know we are not hitting database here. We are pulling data. Okay, I think I mentioned here. Okay, before talking about this, let's talk about the architecture of OTBI. How does this OTBI work? I mean, how does this data being pulled in the OTBI application? How does it happen? Okay, this OTBI is actually, as I said, OTBI uses OBIEE. It is a middleware component in the Fusion. Uses OBI to deliver the data. Okay, in architecturally, technically, how does it work is we have Fusion application transactional database. Transactional database means whatever transaction happens, what is a typical application database? It's not like a historical database, it's a transactional database. It's like whatever data is committed to the database, it will be present in the database. Okay, so if you go with a typical data warehouse applications, there apart from transactional database, you will have historical database too. So we are not talking about historical database here. Whenever we talk about the OTBI, it's a transactional database, it's a real-time data. So what happens is, technically, Fusion on top of Fusion application transactional database, as I said before, Oracle Fusion technology to interact with database is through view objects, because it's more of MEC architecture, model view controller architecture, if you are aware. So in that model is actually where the interaction with database happens. That happens through these view objects and entity objects. Apart from keeping all that aside, on this Fusion transaction database, every database table is considered as an object, as a view object. Okay, every is a view object. So everything will be exposed with a view object. View object internally it's nothing but a simple Java code where we have set and get methods technically. So we will have view objects for each and every database table, right? So these view objects will be available in a common semantic model. It's nothing but a subject area. We can say for OTBI sake, it's subject areas from where this OTBI will keep accessing the data. Okay, if OTBI interacts with semantic models internally run a real-time queries to interact with the Fusion application transaction databases and pull the data. Okay, this is the typical structure of Fusion OTBI architecture. Okay, so when I say in this model, in the OTBI, Oracle has already given, before that, if you see the real-time BI publisher, there's a direct arrow from database to the real-time BI publisher. That is a BI publisher which we have seen before, which directly interacts with the database by hitting the database tables. But coming to the OTBI interaction is through semantic model to view objects to the database. This semantic model is nothing but a subject area. We are going to talk about what is subject area. Okay, so also for OTBI, Fusion has given predefined analytics, like predefined dashboards. Around Fusion has, when I say dashboard, Oracle has already created some dashboard like a headcount report or absences reports or compensation reports. Fusion has already created many reports, and Fusion has already offering those reports to us. Around 300 embedded analytics reports were offered. And this semantic model has built for 35 Fusion products. 35 plus, it's keep growing. Means we have a semantic model. We have means from OTBI you can access data from multiple, almost all Fusion modules. Okay, so when I say semantic model or a subject area, it is nothing but organizing the reporting metadata into business-centric object areas. So whatever data we are pulling from, example, when I say a subject area called, let us say I'm talking a subject area called, when I say employee, let us say employee is a subject area. When I say employee will have a number, name, date of birth, or gender, of all these things, right? Technically, if you go there, if you speak technically, employee date of birth will be one table, employee names will be in another table, employee gender will be in another table, employee job will be in another table. So the data will be split across many tables. If you know that data, if you know the tables only, then only you could able to write the data and pull the information. If you don't know the table, still you can pull that information. There, Oracle did work for us. Oracle combined all these components together and calling it a subject area, worker subject area. Then they will say in the worker subject area, Oracle says, I already written every queries behind that, every combinations, every joins, I did already. You just need to use that subject area. If you use the subject area will have all these columns already. You just drag and drop and use it, nothing else. That's why we call it as a reporting metadata into business-centric object areas. When I say metadata, whatever data comes from the database will be taken to the view objects. That view objects internally will store it in the form of metadata. That's metadata in sense joining the tables and then giving the names like that. Okay, when you create a OTBI report, you don't know the query behind that. That is called metadata, which will be taken care by Oracle itself. Okay, and also you can, on top of the columns you derive, you can also define some calculations on top of each column. You can derive some other columns based on the existing columns, you can do that. Okay. And what is a BI view object? It's a view object is a single source of truth for BI.